Hi guys, this is Average Pokemon Trainer here with more Pokemon Wi-Fi Battle goodness. Today we have a rematch against the Silversmith. I don't know your name still. I'm sorry, Silversmith. I will put your name in the description. I promise if I can find it. If not, I am so sorry, dude. But yeah. He wanted a rematch. He didn't have nothing better to do. He had 2 weeks off from work, so it was Pokemon heaven for him, and he wanted a battle. So being a good guy I am, I opted for the rematch. So I brought my hardcore team this time. You know this team already. It's the semi-trick room team with Jellicent, Buffalo, Machop, and Landorus with Mega Manectric and Cresselia. Sorry guys, a bit sleepy. But he has a Clefable. Hate those things. He has a Heatran, a Cresselia of his own, a Slowbro, a Sableye, annoying as tail, and he has a Blastoise. Probably his Mega. Most likely it is. His team is pretty bulky. My team is pretty bulky as well, but not as bulky as his. We'll see how it goes. Let's get into it. Silversmith is issuing a challenge. I sent out my Jellicent. You know how it is with this team. I go straight into Jellicent and goes into Blastoise. Blastoise is Mega Evolving all in my face. I know Blastoise this generation does go for the Dark Pulse. I know it can take a Dark Pulse on stop from a Mega Blastoise. I can't take it well, but I know I can take one. I go and I set up the Trick Room, effectively outspeeding this Blastoise now, since I am slower than Blastoise, and putting me in a better position than I am right now. So I want to effectively save my Jellicent so I can come back in and maybe recover later. I know he's going to go for that second Dark Pulse to try to take me out. I go into my Machamp, which is my my Pokemon to soak up those Dark Pulse with his Assault Vest and retaliate with Dynamic Punch. I know he has Sableye in here. I should have gone for the Dynamic Punch. It was so stupid of me to do that. I realize this now. Couldn't do nothing at the fact, but what can you do? So he goes for his Nightshade, effectively taking out my Jellicent. Nightshade just works off of your level stat. So he goes for the Nightshade, which is 50 damage all the time, every time. So he goes for the taunt. I couldn't do the recover that I wanted to. I didn't want to lose my Jellicent still, so I go into my Cresselia to take the uncommon status effect, or the Nightshade if you wanted to go for that as well. I take the Nightshade quite well for Cresselia. He goes for the taunt. I know he was going to go for the taunt, but I went for the Thunder Wave thinking I would outspeed it, if I forgot this thing runs Prankster. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp as usual. You know what Sableye does. I was effectively playing bad at this point, but I think I was pretty much sleepy. I won't blame it on the sleep because I don't blame nothing on the sleep. He was just playing good and was playing horrible, and he goes and effectively burned my Cresselia. But I know I can sleep that off. I don't want to really risk my Cresselia, losing my Cresselia too early in the match. I go into my Mega Manectric. My Mega Manectric can OHKO a Sableye with a Thunderbolt very effectively, and I can take play roughs with it. Very tame. I'm not too afraid of the Will-O-Wisp because this is special, not physical. Mega Manectric. I go for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt does not enough, and when I took that, he took that Thunderbolt so well, I realized it was special defensive Sableye. Not much people run it, but it is quite effective in this situation. It really caught me off guard, and I was really bewildered at the fact that he's running this. So he goes into his other Pokemon that takes special hits all day, every day, which is Heatran. But I get the Power Hats the paralyzation. So that went good for me. But I can't stay in too long with Mega Manectric. I opt to go for the Volt Switch. I can come back in and Volt Switch back out if I need to. I do need this Mega Manectric for his Blastoise. So I go back into my Cresselia. My Cresselia is the best thing to deal with. Heatran, he goes to set of rocks. I'm not too scared of the rocks. I don't have anything that's weak against it. All my Pokemon either resist it or is neutral damage through the rocks, so it doesn't really bother me too much. I go for the Side Shot to see how much it does to Heatran. It does absolutely dick all. And then I realized I think he told me after this battle that his Heatran was defensive instead of special defensive Heatran, which was pretty dope. My Heatran is pretty much special defensive, so I was going on that fat. That was a bit my mistake of me thinking he's running special defensive Heatran, even though his Sableye took the special attack way too well with the Mega Manectric, so I know he would have run more defensive EVs into this. Now seeing that, he drags out my Cresselia, because he can't do anything to my Cresselia. He drags me out into my Jellicent, which is the worst switching possible, but just Jellicent was anyway to the rocks because the rocks were set up on the field at this point, which was unfortunate. I go out into my Landorus right now to see if I can set up my own rocks and scare him out with an Earthquake. He is not scared. He opts to stay in and sack his Heatran to get a proper switch into my Landorus, which was beneficial for him. And a bit beneficial for me. So he goes into his Cresselia, which is his dual screening Cresselia, different to mine. So he sets up the Light Scream. I set up my rocks. He goes for the Reflect, and I think I go for the U-turn right here. It does dick all to the Cresselia, knowing that how much that took, that you turned that well. I knew that this was a defensive build, more defensive build of Cresselia instead of physical. So he sends out his Cresselia because he can't do nothing to my Cresselia because that's dual screens. Mine's is more speed control, and I can effectively cripple his Cresselia. So I go in thinking, so I go for the safe Thunder Wave. He goes into his Slowbro, effectively thinking he could take a hit from the Side Shot, but I go for the Thunder Wave instead, and I go for the rest to get rid of the burn damage and effectively healing myself. But this does put me at a disadvantage now because I have to stay here and waste sleep turns, and I don't have any residual damage on this Slowbro, effectively unable to do nothing. But then he pulls out another move that I would never think to see on a Slowbro. He pulls out the Shadow Ball instead of the Psychic. He goes for the Shadow Ball, effectively making it a nice 3-hit KO for my Cresselia, but I didn't want to lose my Cresselia just yet. I know I could save that. I go into my Bufflet knowing that he's going to go for those Shadow Balls. Slowbro unfortunately gets paralyzed, but it would have made any difference in the long run because I knew he was going to go for the Shadow Ball, which wouldn't affect me anyway. So I go for the Head Charge. It does a half to the Slowbro, so it's pretty bulky, as you know, and those screams effectively help his bulk. And so since the scream's up, it is a 3-hit kill instead of a 2-hit kill. Taking out my Bufflet instead of the other way around, making my boy Silversmith a bit in front and I'm a bit behind, and I need to make some really good plays here to get myself back in the match. So I go into my Manectric to scare him out. I know he's going to switch out. I go for the Thunderbolt still to see if I can get damage on anything else I can. I cannot live another switch in, so I have to stay in here now, seeing that I can't. I go for another Thunderbolt and effectively almost taking out the Cresselia, but unfortunately I did not pack enough punch to take him out. But I live on 5, and I go for the third Thunderbolt, taking out the Cresselia. So Mega Manectric pulling his weight somewhat before he died, taking out the threat for me. That was pretty dope. I'm still behind, even though it's a double down. You should always go into your fastest mon in your party at that time for a double down. He goes into his Clefairy. I go into my Landorus. The pointy stones dug into me. Clefairy is pretty much bulky in every sense of the word. I don't know if it's physically bulky or special defense bulky, but the way how he took that earthquake make me think he leans more onto the special side than the physical side. So I go for the 2 earthquakes to take him down with my Landorus, effectively doing that. And I do need a miracle here to win, but he goes into his Blastoids, Mega Blastoids, and go for the fake out, which effectively, like, why run the fake out on the Blastoids? But it does give Blastoids that bit of priority, that priority that he wouldn't have. But if you need priority, man, you should have run the Stab Aqua Jet instead. But each to their own, I guess. He goes for the Water Pulse, hoping for the Confusion Hats here, but I go for the Dynamic Punch with the guaranteed Confusion Hats. Getting that guaranteed Confusion Hats, I went for the Bullet Punch to see how much it does. It does not do enough, unfortunately, but I get the Confusion Hats, which was good for me. He goes for the Confusion Hats again, but he doesn't get it this time. I was going for the Dynamic Punch there. I do get it off, but I would have liked to get it off with as much as minimum damage as I can, because this is my last poke at this point. And he goes into his Sableye now to wrap up shop, because he knows he has this in the bag. I'm going to go to Bullet Punch before he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and he goes for the recovery instead, knowing that 2 bullet punches could potentially take out his Sableye. He doesn't want that, because Sableye is more a special defense build than a bulky variant that usually is run. I go for the bullet punch, but it is in vain because he does get off the burn on me. My chance is pretty much burn here, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. At this point in time, I was thinking I really do need someone to really take statuses on this team much well that I can. I was pondering of taking out someone out of the team and replacing them with a new mon into my all-star team, because this is my all-star team at this point. So what I did is that I ran a test with a new mon in the team. You have to see it. I do have the video, so when the video does go up, you're gonna see it. Yes, I effectively lost a match because Sableye just cleaned up shop with my Cresselia. There was really nothing I can do there. I needed Machamp to win. That was my win condition, and I lost that, unfortunately. So I lost a match. Silversmith did do a great match. It taught me a lot about my team, and that it needs a proper status holder, not one but at least 2 of them on this team, because this team is pretty powerful, but it gets weared down pretty easily because of the constant switching out and the constant burning or poisoning of party members within the team itself, effectively breaking down the team pretty well. So it taught me a lot that I need to learn with this team to effectively make it a better team. So thank you so much, Silversmith, for the battle. If you guys did like the battle, you need to leave a like. If you like the battle so much and you want to see more of my battles, you can go ahead and subscribe. Anything else? Yeah, join the battle station on Facebook. I don't plug that enough, but join the battle station, and I'll catch you on the flip side.